Hey everyone, today we're going to dive into something really fascinating. A kind of thought experiment from the Diamond Sutra. And trust me, it's designed to completely flip our ideas about what's truly valuable.
So let me ask you this, right off the bat. What do you think is the most valuable gift in the entire universe? Seriously. Is it, piles of cash, diamonds, maybe even power? Well, the answer we're going to explore today, it's probably not what you're thinking. Okay, so to get us there, the Buddha sets up this incredible mental exercise. It's really designed to push our minds to the absolute brink. But it starts with something we can all picture. He says, okay, imagine the Ganges River in India. This was a familiar spot in his teachings. And now try to picture all the grains of sand in that river. Not just on the banks, but the entire riverbed. It's a number that's already kind of impossible to wrap your head around, right?
But hold on, because this is where things get wild. Now, for every single one of those grains of sand, imagine a whole new Ganges River. And each of those new rivers is also packed with its own countless grains of sand. The scale here just explodes. We're talking about a number so big, it's pretty much beyond what our brains can handle.
So, how many grains of sand are we even talking about now? The thing is, the Buddha isn't asking us to get out a calculator. The whole point is to just try and grasp this idea of a great number. It's basically a stand-in for infinity, a number so huge it breaks our concept of counting.
Okay, so now that we have this impossible number in our heads, the Buddha uses it to describe what you might call the ultimate act of charity. So get this. He says, all right, take that mind-bendingly huge number of sand grains, and for each grain, imagine there's a whole universe. And then you fill every single one of those universes, every last one, with the 7 most precious treasures. Gold, silver, you name it. And after all that, you just give it all away as a gift. Talk about an unimaginable act of giving, right?
Then he turns to his disciple, Subhuti, and asks what sounds like a total softball question. He says, so, would the merit, the good karma you'd get from doing that, would it be great?
And of course, Subhuti's answer is exactly what you or I would say. Oh, absolutely. Immensely so, world-honored one. Of course it would be. From any normal point of view, the good fortune you'd get from a gift that huge would be off the charts. You'd think, okay, that's it. Nothing can be more valuable than that.
And this is where the whole thing takes a sharp turn. Because right after establishing this ultimate act of giving, the Buddha says there's something even more valuable. And it's not at all what you'd think.
He describes a completely different action. It's not about giving away universes full of treasure. It's about something much smaller. It's about simply understanding, really getting just 4 lines of this teaching, and then sharing that understanding with another person. That's it. An act of sharing wisdom, not stuff.
And here it is, the punchline. The Buddha states point blank that the merit you get from this simple act is far superior to the merit from giving away all of those countless universes filled with treasure. Just wow.
So that just leaves you scratching your head, right? How is that even possible? How can sharing a few words, just 4 lines, be worth more than a gift on a scale that we can't even properly imagine?
Well, to understand the answer, we have to look at a really key distinction the texts make. It turns out there are 2 totally different kinds of merit or fortune.
Okay, so on one hand, you've got what's called conditioned merit. This is all the worldly stuff. Money, good looks, power, health. It's great, but it's temporary. It can change, and you can definitely run out of it. Then, on the other hand, you have unconditioned merit, and this is the merit of wisdom. It's totally different, it's permanent, it's inexhaustible, and it doesn't just lead to a better life in this world, it leads to true, lasting freedom, liberation.
Yeah, think of that conditioned merit, the worldly fortune, like a bank account. Even if you've got billions in there, you can spend it down, and eventually it's going to run out. The texts have a really specific term for this, bokchin tarak. It basically means falling when your fortune is exhausted. The idea is that even if you do so much good that you're reborn in some amazing heaven, you're still just spending down your good karma. And when it's gone, you fall right back into the cycle.
But there's an analogy from other texts that makes this difference crystal clear. It's brilliant.
Okay, so all that worldly fortune, the conditioned merit, it's like being served the most amazing, delicious 5-star meal, but you're eating it inside a prison cell. Sure, the food is incredible. It makes you feel good for a little while. But when the meal is over, you're still in prison.
And that unconditioned merit,
The wisdom from those 4 lines of teaching? That's the key to the cell door. It might not be a fancy meal. It might just look like a simple, small key. But it's the one thing that can actually get you out. It offers real freedom.
You see the difference? It's all about purpose. One offers you comfort inside the prison, while the other offers you a way out of the prison altogether.
So why is wisdom so much better? Well, for one, it deals with the root cause of our problems, not just the symptoms. And unlike money, you can't run out of it. In fact, it's the one thing that grows the more you give it away. And here's the really interesting part. The texts actually warn us that having too much worldly fortune can be a trap. It can make you so comfortable that you stop looking for that deeper, lasting freedom.
Yeah. There's another sutra that says it's often difficult for the wealthy and powerful to actually learn the way. Why? Because when you're super comfortable, it's hard to find a reason to seek something more. That worldly success can become a kind of beautiful golden cage.
And that brings us to one last really powerful analogy to leave you with. Imagine your house is on fire. What's more valuable in that moment? All the treasures you've spent a lifetime collecting inside, or the knowledge of the way out? It's a question that really makes you think about what true value is. Thanks for exploring that with me today.